So coming up Sunday is the 2014 Royal Rumble, and yes, I find myself quite a bit excited, as I do every year for the Royal Rumble. It's a once-in-a-year event. It's my favorite pay-per-view gimmick of all. Now, granted, some years I find myself at different levels of excitement. I would classify my excitement for this year's event somewhere, on the higher scale. There are a few things that I'm really anxious to see come Sunday. And, I feel like the WWE, while it could have done a better job of building up to the Rumble, they did a better job maybe than they have in some years prior. So I give them credit there. So here, I'm just going to give you my general thoughts heading into this Sunday show and give you some general predictions. First thing, how stupid is it that you're giving away the tag title match between the Rhodes Brothers and the New Age Outlaws on the YouTube pre-show? Re-fucking-diculous. Back in the day on Sunday Night Heat, you would used to get one of two things. Either a warm-up match just between two individuals, or maybe it would have something that tied into the pay-per-view. You're qualifying for a spot in the Rumble, or whatever the case might be. Now you're giving away a tag title match between the Rhodes Brothers, that's freaking Cody and Goldust, and the New Age fucking Outlaws on YouTube. This is stupid. You only have a certain amount of matches to fit on the card anyways. You're telling me you can't find a way to put this match with these participants and individuals on your fucking pay-per-view card? Ridiculous to the highest order. This is so stupid, WWE. Especially if you had the New Age Outlaws win the belt here. This is something that could create a pay-per-view moment. I would anticipate and hope at this point that if that's what they're going to do, that way maybe they would have the Rhodes Brothers retain here. I don't know, because to me to do a title change on the pre-show is completely ridiculous, especially with the participants and players involved in this match. What I do hope at some point is that the New Age Outlaws do get a short run with the titles, and that the Usos can go on to WrestleMania and win those titles from the New Age Outlaws. That's what I want to see. As far as the official show itself, Big Show and Brock Lesnar, I do not care. To me, I would much rather see Mark Henry versus Brock Lesnar, and I find it a crying shame that Mark Henry was used as a plot device to further the story between Big Show and Brock Lesnar. That Mark Henry was basically, at this moment, cast aside for Big Show and Brock Lesnar. To me, I'd much rather see Mark Henry and Brock Lesnar. There's more appeal. There's more intrigue. There's more curiosity there. I also think there's more money to be made with that match. You know damn good and well if Smokey was alive right now, it would be Mark Henry versus Brock Lesnar, and the WWE wouldn't dare go against that. And Mark Henry would have won on Sunday. You have to have Brock Lesnar win here, you would think. And I'm sorry, but the Big Show's character is an example of the WWE's piss-poor storytelling and character development over the past several years. This is a guy a couple of months ago that was crying like a bitch, begging to keep his job, doing the McMahon's bidding. And now he's feuding with Brock Lesnar, and he's intimidating Brock Lesnar. Does anybody fucking buy that? Seriously. Does anybody buy that? Does that even make the closest remote amount of fucking sense? No. A match I don't care about, and one of the two individuals in the Big Show I do not give a fuck about. Period. Moving on. Then you get Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt, and I'm really surprised that this match does not have a special stipulation to signify the blow-off to a feud, like a cage or a Hell in a Cell or a strap match or something along those lines. Just something. It's Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt, and it seems like at this point that's it. There's no special stipulation here. I don't get it. And even Daniel Bryan joining the Wyatt family was another example of the ridiculous storytelling of the WWE in recent years. He joined the Wyatt family for 2 weeks. How ridiculous. How dumb. It was. And don't give me this whole shit about, well, Kane put him in the cage to get buried. Oh, shut up. You're an idiot. Seriously. It's an example of you thinking logically as a fan and overthinking it too much and thinking about it far more than the WWE does. I assure you of that. They have long since forgotten these key things. Hence, you look at Big Show 2 months ago, crying baby, fighting to keep his job. Now he's an intimidating son of a bitch again, fighting Brock Lesnar. Need I say more? I know a lot of Daniel Bryan fans are hoping that Daniel Bryan beats Bray Wyatt here and then goes on to win the Royal Rumble. Sadly, I believe that you will be disappointed come Sunday, but I do also say that I hope I am wrong. I would hope and expect that Daniel Bryan would go over Bray Wyatt clean here. He needs to. It must happen. How stupid it would be to have the most over individual, in your company who's not fighting for the belt right now, lose to somebody like Bray Wyatt. In the grand scheme of things, what the fuck does Bray Wyatt mean? Bray Wyatt means absolutely nothing. Some of you might sit there and say, whoa. No. Compared to Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt means absolutely nothing. You need to focus on Daniel Bryan. You need to give him signature moments. And you need to give him signature victories at Big Four pay-per-views like, oh, that's right, the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan must win here. In terms of the Rumble match, I would hope that Daniel Bryan was in it, but I don't believe he will be. I'm seeing reports now. People are talking about that the planned match for him at WrestleMania is Sheamus. Is that the trilogy we need? The first time their match got bumped off of the WrestleMania 27 card to where at WrestleMania 28 they wrestled for 18 seconds. What a trilogy it is. Breakfast Club rules, bitches. And you see that in the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, Cena and Orton. I was begging for this shit for a long time. Why? Because I wanted everybody to understand that no matter how much they think as fans they can control and tell what the WWE does and tell the WWE what to do and who to push, the WWE is always going to remind them, as I predicted, that they are going to push who they want to push, regardless of the propaganda and BS they might put out there. Hence why Cena and Orton have been feuding. Hence why it had to be Cena and Orton to unify the belts, because they deemed them the only two to be worthy to do just that. And hence why they are having a world title match at a Big Four pay-per-view like the Royal Rumble. How ridiculous it is. You knew the WWE was going to go back to this shit at some point in time. They just couldn't help themselves, even though they told us we'd never see it again. You knew that was a lie. And then here you are. You couldn't even wait until Mania to have these two guys face off. Nobody cares. And when you get Cena and Orton together in a feud, it's going to be the same old typical shit. There's going to be lame promos, stupid side crap like Orton attacking Cena's dad, and they're acting like Cena's dad had a heart attack a la Jerry Lawler. John Cena's dick up his ass, broomstick up his ass, unathletic run. Randy Orton running and cutting tail like a punk bitch, and just all this dumb shit comes with the Cena and Orton feud, and the WWE has delivered. Yeah, it's just, I would have to hope that you put so much behind Randy Orton lately, you have to have him win this match on Sunday, don't you? To me, I think it sets up better for the WWE to have Randy Orton win it, but it does leave an interesting question if Randy Orton does win it, unless you have John Cena win the belt at Elimination Chamber and say, fuck it all. What are you going to do with John Cena come WrestleMania? You don't see any clear direction for any one thing for him heading into Mania, and usually you can start to kind of piece these things together. I really wonder what they're going to do. I'd also be a little surprised, frankly, if this match isn't the main event, because it does have Cena and Orton in it. Breakfast Club rules, bitches. And then we get to the Royal Rumble match itself. There are always a couple of things I look forward to in the Rumble matches, but here's what I'm looking forward to in this Rumble match on Sunday. First, I want to see, with CM Punk going number one, how long do they have him go, and how do they do it, and how do they have him get eliminated? That's what I want to see. I want to see Kofi Kingston shine in this event. I want to see Kofi Kingston get his couple of oh shit moments in the Royal Rumble, but this time I want to see them actually try to make a star out of this kid. This is the same guy that a couple weeks ago beat Randy Orton 100% clean in the middle of the ring. Your WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Your number one guy figuratively in the company because he has the title. Kingston beat him 100% clean. No bullshit, no interference, no anything. Have him start off number two. Have him start off with CM Punk. And have Kofi Kingston provide you those oh shit moments. Have him eliminate a couple of people, for God's sakes. And have Kofi Kingston maybe even go all the way to the final four. Maybe the final six at the very worst. Follow up on what you did a couple of weeks ago. Stop demeaning it. Follow up on it. Make a star out of this kid. Make 2014 a year that you're actually going to push Kofi Kingston. You're going to stick with it. And you're going to give him signature moments and signature victories at Big Four pay-per-views. You might not have him win the Royal Rumble here. I'll grant you that. He's not ready. It's not time. But damn it all, you can make a star out of this kid by having him enter in at number two and have him go 50, 55 minutes. Eliminate some people. Provide a couple of those typical Kofi Kingston oh shit moments. That's what you can do. I want to see Roman Reigns dominate, at least to a Diesel level of eliminating 7, maybe 8 individuals. I would love to see them finally say, you know what, Kane's held this record for 13 years, enough's enough. Roman Reigns blows through and eliminates 12 people, or maybe Kane is the 12th and last elimination that Roman Reigns has. But I want to see Roman Reigns last until the final 4, if not the final 2. I want to see Roman Reigns have a big face-off with Biggie Langston. I think that would make for a nice Royal Rumble moment. I want to see Roman Reigns face off with Batista. I think that would make for a great Royal Rumble moment. I want to see how they do Batista here, how they present Batista here, where they bring him into the Rumble, and how they have him ultimately win the Royal Rumble. I want to see if they actually do have like Sheamus come back here at the Royal Rumble and how that's done. I want to see how they do Daniel Bryan with this Royal Rumble, if they even put him in there. And if they don't put him in there, and then they go on to have Breakfast Club member Batista win the Royal Rumble, I want to see the internet fucking reaction to that come Sunday night. I have a feeling that so many internet fans right now, and I completely get it, and I understand, are going to sit there. They know who number one is, and they're fine with that. They're going to be like, number two, please be Daniel motherfucking Bryan. And then it won't be. And then they'll get to number 7. Oh, it's got to be Daniel Bryan here. And then it's got to be number 15. It's got to be Daniel Bryan. Number 20, Daniel Bryan. 25, Daniel Bryan. And then we get all the way to 30. And they'll be like, this is going to be Daniel Bryan. And then when it doesn't, all these internet fans are going to be like, fuck this shit. I'm never watching this company again. This is dumb, stupid. You know, in theory, a lot of the internet is right. Daniel Bryan is the most over individual in the WWE. If there was ever a time to have him win the Royal Rumble, 2014 would be the year. This would be assuming, of course, that the WWE believes in actually taking enough professional pride to be great storytellers and tell a great story by having him finally getting his comeuppance on Randy Orton and the Authority. I would doubt that. I would doubt that very much based off of the WWE's history, and we need to be very realistic about it. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope I'm pleasantly surprised, and they do have Daniel Bryan win the Royal Rumble on Sunday, but I'd just be absolutely surprised if that's the case. All indications and all signs point to Batista. That's where they're going to go. You would have to think. You would have to believe. And it's going to be a Breakfast Club title match at WrestleMania between Batista and Cena or Batista and Orton. Either way, the Breakfast Club rules, bitches. And God, a lot of people are going to poon on this pay-per-view if Daniel Bryan isn't in the Rumble, no matter how good or bad this pay-per-view ends up being. You could have a lot of good moments in this Rumble match. You could have a lot of guys go quite a distance. You could have guys have big nights, and nobody's going to care if Daniel Bryan's not in that Rumble. I think sometimes wrestling fans have to understand that they're playing checkers while the WWE is playing their own version of chess. And they're outmaneuvering you and outthinking you, and sometimes, frankly, outthinking themselves. I hope everybody doesn't just poon on this event come Sunday night if Daniel Bryan isn't in the Rumble, or if he does get in the Rumble, he doesn't win the Rumble. I hope that's not the case. I hope we're not that narrow-minded, but I kind of anticipate it coming. I understand it. Doesn't mean I fully agree with it, but I do understand it. And I do think it kind of, again, speaks to how out of touch the WWE in a lot of ways is with their audience today. Or even though they can hear it and they can see it and they can sense it, they still don't know that Daniel Bryan is the most over individual in their company. But I think after Sunday night, if Batista's winning the Rumble and Batista's there in his moment of glory and you hear a huge Daniel Bryan chant crack out there in Pittsburgh, the Daniel Bryan fans will be very upset. The Daniel Bryan fans will try to have their voices heard, and frankly, the WWE might finally hear those voices. But if you chant Daniel Bryan during Batista's big moment, are they going to try and bury Daniel Bryan and teach everybody a lesson? You just never know when you're dealing with Vince K. McMahon. Always remember that.